from both of us, what we say is not always rosy or like, oh, because you have this, foreign UK degree, they're going to create a red carpet on your plans. Say, take your job, take 500,000 US dollars.
No,
you need to just
even start off salary expectations $5,000.
You're welcome to the second part of the video on the international student experience in the UK. In this second part, we will talk about our experiences as PhD students in the UK.
So at what point did you now decide that, okay, I want to do a PhD?
So you see, I think within the even before the end of first year of work, I knew I wanted to do a PhD.
Okay.
So I had already started searching, findaphd.com.
That's the best website.
There's also jobs.ac.uk.
Yeah.
But findaphd.com.
Really
So
good.
I was already searching. So I came across my very first PhD application. It was at my former university, Bournemouth.
Okay.
So I applied. I got shortlisted.
Oh, okay.
Did the interview. I thought, oh my gosh. See, I'm going back to the UK.
You're so happy, excited.
Unfortunately, I didn't get it. Of course, PhD interviews are like jobs,
Yeah.
They're looking for experiences and skills. So I think that PhD was looking for skills in econometric modeling, and I didn't have skills in that.
Okay.
So I was turned down. That was, I think, 2014. So less than a year into my working experience.
So you've been at it for a while.
Yeah. So at that point, I continued working, but then now started getting frustrated with the work. Like sometimes my situation was I wasn't getting promoted. I felt underemployed anyway, so I thought I needed something different, something where I can grow,
Yeah.
So I kept looking around. So I kept looking for jobs and also PhDs. So I would keep applying, but it's hard to come across a PhD that you really connect, that you really want. So you might see a PhD, but you're like, no, I don't think, because some PhDs are quite abstract.
Yeah.
You might spend the whole year trying to
figure out what they're even trying.
What they want
you to do.
So I think you have to have that connection with the PhD.
Yeah. Very
topic
important.
before you apply for it. So yeah, I applied for jobs, PhDs, and got shortlisted for a couple of jobs, rejections here and there. Then I think what year was that? 2016, yes.
That's the year.
2016, end of 2016. I saw this PhD. So I thought, I think I can relate to this.
What was the title? So let's go.
It was evaluating the World Health Organization core components on infection prevention and control. So I thought this is quite relevant, and it's quite relevant at home as well. I can connect to this, I can do what, I can relate to this. So I filled in the application. So I even gave, first of all, before I filled in the application, it was a partial, scholarship. They tell, of course, it's a full scholarship in their terms, but because you're an international student, part of your money is used to stipend tuition between the difference between international and home fees.
Yeah.
So you're left with quite a small amount of money for other things. So I thought the money is not enough, but I like the topic. I can relate. Let me just apply. Just apply After all, it's free. Months later, I think I applied around end of 2016. I only got an invite for the interview in June.
Wow,
June, May,
that must have been a long
wait.
wait.
I'd even forgotten about this. So I got, would like to invite you for an interview. But I said, So I applied. So of course set up the Zoom, whatever,
Yeah.
That time it was Skype,
Yeah.
Skype, that is in 2017 now, did the interview. Then it was quite funny because even before I got feedback for the interview, my would-be supervisor then emails me again. So I don't know whether I was successful or not. My supervisor just emails me that, you know what, are you still interested in doing a PhD? There's an opportunity that had just come up. So I figured maybe I was unsuccessful in the other one, you know. So, and another opportunity has come up. So that's how we had another chat anyways. Didn't do any more interviews. Then they just told me, okay, yeah, it's exactly the same terms, but you must start by October. You know, and then, you know, starting by October is not a problem, but if you're on a partial scholarship, you have to raise money for visa fees, you know. You have to show that you have enough money to, I think the university calculated, and they had to have about 6,000 £6,000, you know, in my account, and must have been there for 28 consecutive days, you know. So of course it was a hassle. So I got the offer in July. I was supposed to start in October. I hardly didn't have £6,000. I hardly had £6,000 in account, of course. So of course I had to look for £6,000, you know, and apply for a visa and then travel before October. So yeah, but thankfully everything went smoothly. Came here, but of course at the back of my head I knew that the money is not enough, you know.
Yeah, so for me, it's quite similar. So I was dissatisfied, frustrated at my job. Basically, I felt like I could do more. I had all the skills, I had all the knowledge, and where I was working at the time, when I was applying for PhD, was a government hospital. So you can only get promoted every 3 years. Everything is just, you know,
slow.
It's very slow, and everything. It was just a different environment from what I wanted to do. So you know, when you just feel like you can do more. There's a big world out there, especially when you've been exposed to kind of education you get in the UK, and you know that okay, you can do more. And I started to really get interested in research, especially antimicrobial resistance, antimicrobial stewardship, and I had explored doing like additional courses, going for a fellowship. So we had this West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacy in Nigeria, so basically trying to do a residency, but the program is not that well developed. So I knew that I needed to just do something else, and in between all of this, just like you, I was within my job, I was applying for jobs. So I'll get interviews. I actually got job offers during when I was doing my job, but it was more of this. It was the same thing. Salary is the same, experience will be the same. I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I really want to be more. I want to do more. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start applying for PhDs. And I really did not want to travel again, even though I knew that I wasn't happy. But I was, after going through that 1 year, like we've talked about the whole experience, I'm like, I'll go and spend another 4 years by myself. I'm like, am I ready for that again? But I'm like, you know what, you have to do what you have to do. Like, you really have to just make yourself happy and, you know, aspire for more.
So was that the only PhD that you applied for?
No.
The one that you got?
No. So because I already had a narrow area of focus, so for me it was antimicrobial stewardship. So that same website, so somebody recommended jobs.ac.uk, then I also started searching and finding page.com. So I would only narrow my search down to stewardship or antimicrobial resistance and read, just like you said, like there are a lot of, you know, abstract things, and especially for a lot of the AMR projects, then, you know, it's micro, and I'm not interested in lab work. I've never been interested deeply interested in lab work. So it was quite hard to find something. But the first one I applied for, so then that was the same time when I think is so there's this Medical Research Foundation AMR program that started around that time, 2018, but it was only for home and UK students. So the funding only home and UK students, and so they had even said in the application that it's only for home and UK students. So I mean, it did seem like they were going to take international students. So I applied anyway, but I think I applied to 2 of the projects. I didn't hear back from one. The second one, I think I got a rejection. I can't remember, but I didn't hear back from one. But I knew that I was not going to be self-sponsored for my PhD. I wanted to get some funding, full funding or whatever funding for my PhD. So those ones did not happen, and I was even scared of being accepted because of the terms I already saw, and like, home UK, only home for home and UK students. So I knew I wasn't. eligible for those programs. So while I was almost giving up was when I went again to find a PhD.com and searched, and I just saw the project feasibility and acceptability of an intervention to enhance antimicrobial stewardship in hospitals. And I was like, they didn't make this project for me because it was like, this is exactly what I want to do. I'm serious. I was so excited that that day I was going to work. I was driving to work and I quickly sent an email to the supervisor, so my supervisor now, and I said, oh, I'm interested in this project, blah, blah, blah. My CV is attached. I forgot to attach anything. Everything is attached. And she replied in less than an hour saying, oh, it looks like you're suitable for this page, but sorry, you didn't attach anything. So I was not how excited I was, but I now quickly replied back and attached everything. I did my application and I waited for just a month before I got the email saying, oh, you're invited for an interview. And a week after the interview, I got accepted. And I was like, wow. So your dreams are valid, so I can actually get this thing.
By the way, I didn't I didn't apply for only 2 PhDs, and also I didn't get rejected for only one. There are quite a number of them. Most times I see people saying that, oh, PhD, must get a PhD by next year. No, PhD is like a job, by the way.
You have to just keep
applying,
tailoring your application. You have to have an interest and to show your personal statement or your cover letter if you don't have any interest.
Because it's, by the way, they are quite competitive. They're quite competitive. You don't think, and it's competitive to the extent that there might just not be enough qualified candidates, and they'll advertise again,
Yeah, if they don't get somebody that's suitable.
Yeah, suitable for it. So it's that tight, and by the way, I did about 3 interviews, PhD interviews. I did at University of Edinburgh.
Oh.
I did, of course, this one, my former university, the current one. I did. Forget another university, but I think I did about 4 before I did about 3. Then the 4th one, I was 4th time lucky. So okay. It's not easy as well. It's not easy to.
It was only that one I did. So
which was lucky, But funny thing is that because I was already here, so they would say, oh, there's a guy from, there's a couple of people, there's one from Nigeria, there's one from,
The funny thing is, as soon as I did the interview, I got the offer. So I'm active on Twitter, and people were following me from the research group, and I'm like, why are these people following me? And then I'll see, oh, PhD student. I'm like, are they telling them that somebody is coming? Like, why are they following me? And then I think I went on LinkedIn. I don't know if I'm the one that sent you a connection request on LinkedIn, or it was you. But I connected with you. I connected with the other people in the research group, and I just felt like, oh, this is a very vibrant community. We're connecting with each other, and so I reached out to Andrew, asked some questions, and yeah, so that's how we started talking before we finally met when I came in October 2018. So our funding is the same. So
same time.
Tuition is covered, but our stipend is international stipend. So
it's small.
So should we talk about how do you manage your stipend? Well, let me say for me. So I came with some savings, and also I have support from home, and then I've done some remote work in between my PhD that has helped. So I've done some remote work along the way, but yeah. So but the stipend is something. Like my supervisor always says, it's still something, because it's better than nothing.
At the end of the day, I
and we have tuition covered, so we don't have to worry about paying school fees.
I'll first share a funny experience. When I was doing my masters, at the time, I think stipend was £880 on the common scholarship.
Okay.
But now I think it must be 1,000 something. It's gone up.
Yeah.
It's gone up. But at the time, I thought 880 is not enough money. When I came here with small stipend,
now
I said, I wish I had that £880. So it's
it's like when you being grateful for what you have, because you don't even know how much the value of what you have.
You should be grateful, for what you have, because it's quite. So anyway, after getting here, of course, I had some little money that I came with, but of course you have to pay for all the accommodation, deposits, everything, you know.
Yeah.
So, of course, because I'd been here, I knew that I'd probably do some work here and there. So once I got here, I didn't wait, by the way. I started looking for jobs right away.
You already had your NIN anyways because you had done your...
Yeah, I already had my NI number, national insurance number. I already had it, so I didn't have to apply for it. So I started applying for jobs right away. But let me tell you, even the smallest jobs, even the cleaning jobs, they'll interview you, and then they'll say you don't have experience. You don't like experience. We've been cleaning at home. We've been washing dishes at home all our lives. How do you tell me you don't have experience cleaning? But I'll tell you an experience cleaning or waitressing, or you know, these are things you've grown up doing, you know. But so it's so funny. Like for 3 months, I didn't have anything, you know. I was on a tight budget. You know that I have to spend £40. If I go beyond £40 a week, you know, I'm out of budget. I might go hungry the next couple of weeks, you know. Yeah. Because of course, even if they're sending you some money at home, you know, at home they might send you money, and then for them they see it's a lot of money, but then when it gets here, you know, it can't do much, you know. It can't take you for a long time. So first of all, you have to be frugal. Very, very frugal stuff.
Yeah, you have to live within your means. For me, I just live within my means because I look at better days ahead.
So the first 3 months were tough, you know, very, very tough. Breakdowns, I would get breakdowns, you know. Why am I doing the PhD? You know, because your friends, your age mates, your former classmates are working, making money, you know, and you think, why am I doing this anyways? You know, so it was quite tough. But then around Christmas time, 2017, yes, I got my first, of course, like any other student, those are the kind of jobs you can't. I got a job at a cafe, so I thought, oh my gosh, this is good sense, thank you. You know, I even had a flu at the time, but I thought to myself, no, I'm going to brave this, you know. Went in, that was the first job I did, and then after that, did a couple of, got other jobs through the agency, you know. Now I became, you know,
so good at getting the jobs.
I became so good because
they were looking for you.
So I became so good at did jobs here and there. Sometimes did night shifts, sometimes did, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, you have bills to pay, you know. Yeah. You have bills to pay, you have things to think about. So.
But how did you find combining all of that? Have you found it combining
with your
PhD?
And the thing is, it's been tough. Like, you have to be resilient.
Yeah.
You have to be resilient doing a PhD away from home, either self-sponsored or on a partial scholarship. You have to be resilient. First of all, you have to be resilient doing a PhD, but then if you combine it with not having enough money, then it becomes so tough, you know.
Yeah.
You have to be resilient. You have to you don't have to give up. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. So sometimes I'll be tired, you know. You're from a shift, you're tired, but the PhD, of course, you can't tell your supervisors you're working like that, because they'll ask you why you should be doing work, you know. But sometimes the job calls you, they need you to cover a shift during the week, and I mean, during, let's say, on a Monday, and you need some extra money, you know, some extra small money. You think, so you end up doing the shift, but then you have to cover up for that later in the night and try to do your PhD work. So that's how I manage, you know, having to sacrifice. And I think the other thing that helps me is that I'm not a perfectionist. Like, so I'll sit down and do, if I'm to write maybe a chapter or a couple of pages, I'll sit down and write them, and that's it. I'll not go back changing anything. My supervisors will help me on giving me feedback to make it better, you know. So that's a good thing. Sometimes when you're a perfectionist, you go back to it so many times, revise and everything, and so you take a longer time to sort of get things done on your PhD. But I'm not a perfectionist, so I do what I can and then submit it. And of course, once you submit, you get useful input. They're not going to tell you what to write, but yeah, but like I said, you have to be resilient. You have to hustle. At the end of the day, there are better days. It's just temporal. So at the back of my mind, that's what I knew. This is just temporal. I need to do what I have to do to pay the bills. But at the end of the day, I also need to finish the PhD. Yeah.
So looking at now, you study in the UK at 2 different universities, and even though yes, masters, PhDs, they are different. The masters is not structured the way PhD is structured. But how would you rate your experience? How will you compare both universities and doing a masters versus PhD? Yeah.
I think also because the masters is quick, you don't sort of experience.
But then you have to do this in a short period, intensive. Because some people always say, somebody said to me, someone who had done the masters said she found it easier to do a PhD than the masters because our masters was so intense.
Yeah, like it's so quick, you don't take anything in. I mean, you don't take the whole experience in.
Yeah, it's when you finish and you reflect, you're like,
so it's so quick to even judge, the whole, like you might think a year is a long time, but it's quite a short time if you're doing a master's.
Yeah, it's very short. And they bombard you with so much, and then you have to learn so much on your own.
And then, of course, because you keep changing lecturers every module, changing, so it's hard even to build up that, sort of network with your lecturers, like the way it is in a PhD at PhD level.
So do you say you're more relaxed compared to your masters?
I mean, the UK is at 4 years I've been here now. So
for your PhD,
yeah. So first of all, you get a sort of relationship with your supervisor. It's been a long time, and the uni as well. But I must say, and Bournemouth is also it's a smaller university as well, not like UCL. But I must say that I've not had a chance to go to study at big universities, big universities. But I've found experience within smaller university to be better, like especially at GCU here. Like because they are small, it's easier for them to sort of keep that network with their students,
to tailor their support,
welfare and all that kind of thing. So there's a more personal touch with students in a smaller university than a bigger university. So and that's what I've noticed from my experiences, both masters and here, it's more like a family. They're there for you, that sort of chain to communicate with your supervisors, the school heads.
But is that because it's a PhD, or are you talking specific?
Here I think it's also because of the PhD
because it is
but then I also know people who are doing PhDs who say for them their supervisors are out of touch.
So I get what you're saying, because like I went to UCL, highly ranked uni, London, central London, and it's not like a campus uni, like it's not like GCU where everything is in one place. So UCL it's dotted. There are different departments in between, central London, and because they have all these resources, this network, so you can almost feel like you're like a tiny person in the midst of all of this. So yes, you have access to all this. You have access to all these experts. People coming from big hospitals in London to teach us. You have access to all these networks, but so I like the experience because I felt that thrill of being in the highly ranked uni and you're receiving really good education. But because I had nothing to compare it to, but when I now came to GCU, my first day or induction at GCU, I was like, these people care so much about me. Like,
that's
so I'd been in touch with my supervisors via email. So I think we had our first meeting, but it wasn't even about meeting my supervisors. It was about just that induction and the way everything seemed like a community. The way they took us around, the way they introduced us to our postgraduate research tutors, everything, I felt so supported. I felt like these people care about me. I felt like it's not like I'm saying they didn't care about me. You see, we had our tutors, we had our supervisors,
coordinators,
but
it
was so much. Even though it's like so big, but with GCU is like, just like you said, like there's this connection, and then now having great supervisors. I think in our research group we have really great supervisors. So just like I say, other PhD students might not have that kind of response. So but for us, we now have that plus of having excellent supervisors who are really supportive and tailor their support, and you just feel like you're part of something and you feel supported. So I guess, like you said, smaller unis, well, based on our experiences, smaller unis,
they will have, I guess, because there are not so many students, so they have more time for the few students that they have. And I cannot even begin to imagine the support they've given us during the pandemic.
They've been very supportive.
Financial support, some sort of like family support, people always checking on you. People always, your supervisors always saying, you buy there's this opportunity to get some money,
always reaching out.
And
then last year when I fell ill with COVID, my supervisor was always checking on me, making sure that I was okay. And even when I wanted to come back to my work, she's like, no, you need to go and rest. You need that extra. She's like, she said, don't put a date on when you have to come back. Come back when you're okay. I was like, okay.
When you say you're stressed, do you take time on?
No, you need to rest. COVID is not your fault. She kept telling me, no, you need to rest.
So we share one of the supervisors?
Yes.
So
it's quite nice, and like you said, the support during COVID. I stay in school accommodation, and they've been really supportive. Supporting with waiving part of the rent when the pandemic hit, then supporting us with funds just to help us, and then extending our funding. For me, my funding has been extended 9 months extra, so I get a stipend until June.
Mine was extended for only 3 months, but
because
I'm still
finished data collection. I hadn't even collected any data at the time when
a
senior colleague.
I was still thankful, appreciative,
But the great thing is,
in the next video, we will talk about how to plan for a career post PhD and how to get jobs in the UK.
The great thing is that you got a job, so now you're not on a student visa.
No, I'm not on a student visa anymore now.
So can you tell us the secrets?
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.